they've added personal finance. So they've added personal finance, but they've changed the other math classes. You still have to have algebra, but you no longer have to have algebra 2 or geometry for the base diploma. So that could change some of our numbers of sections that we have to have in classes, but we'll still need those because you still need those classes if you're going to be a four-year college student. Science, they've added computer science, so all students are required to take a computer science. Jason Goodman at Lost River has told me that we can have Buddy Hart teach that class. So he'll take away one of the classes he teaches and he'll add the computer science. It's called Digital Communications is technically the class, but it's considered a computer science class. And that'll be a freshman level class. So those 8th graders will get that next year as part of their curriculum. And then a STEM focused science, which really is your physics, your chemistry, or an engineering class. That's one of the areas that is still questioned. When you look at the list of classes that are going to qualify, you'll see at the bottom under consideration. So there's a list of classes they know we're going to qualify, and then they're still discussing certain classes. So we don't know exactly what we're offering that's going to count there yet. We know some of the classes, but not all of them. Social studies has taken out econ, so econ is no longer required to graduate for any diploma. PEs went down to 1 credit instead of 2, but you can still waive your PE credit also. And then under the personalized electives, they've done away with directed electives, and it's now just called personalized electives. That's where your CTE classes come in, your foreign language classes come in, your fine arts classes will all fall under that. And then college and careers, we already offer that class. We have all of our freshmen or 8th graders take that. Currently, they are supposed to take it. We're supposed to offer it, but they don't have to pass it to graduate, but it'll become a graduation requirement with this year's 8th grade. And some of them are already in that class this year as 8th graders. And then on the back, those are kind of more getting a little bit more into like your honors diplomas. So you've got your enrollment, your employment, and your enlistment seals, and then each of those are a step up from the base diploma. And then each of those also have a plus seal. This is a step up from that. If you look at that enrollment seal, that's a lot like your current academic honors. That's where you're getting most of your college prep classes, your Spanish, your advanced level maths, that kind of thing. The attendance goal, there is an attendance goal on a few of the seals, the employment seal, and I think the enlistment seal, yes. The employment and the enlistment seal both have an attendance goal. Currently, if you read the final ruling from the state, it just says that students at one time in high school have to have less than 3 unexcused absences. So it's not really that, there was a lot of controversy that was going to be very unattainable for some kids, but really it's not that unattainable. They can get that. And then this demonstrates skill development in communication, collaboration, and work ethic that you see on a couple of these seals. That's one of the things that's still to determine how that is supposed to be verified and what they can do for that. So it does come into effect that some of our policies are based off academic honors and technical honors that will have to be reviewed because those diplomas won't exist after the class of 2028. So, any questions?
Thank you for the presentation.
You're welcome.
Keep us up to date.
I will.
Take this to item 4, opportunity for the public to address the board. Nobody signed up for that. On to item 5, personnel.
Just want to inform the board that as of January 22nd, 2025, Oscar McCarty resigned as 8th grade girls basketball coach, and Aubrey Jones resigned as 7th grade girls basketball coach. And as a result of that, both of those stipends have been reduced to $1,800. Next item, it's recommended that the board approve 2 baseball coaching changes, these which were approved at the December meeting. Rob Land will now be the JV coach and be paid $1,250. And Seth Dickey will no longer be a paid coach and will now be a volunteer.
No motion for that. Mr. Reiner makes a motion, do we have a second? Mr. Burkeiser seconds. Discussion on these? Hearing none, all those in favor? Motion passes 7-0.
Next item, I recommend that the board approve the distribution of the early literacy grant funds. That's a grant that goes to elementary staff in K through 3 who taught literacy in the prior year or helped instruct literacy in the prior school year. The grant number is substantially more than we got last year, and that's because of the hard work that those teachers and others have done to improve our scores. In other words, the better scores you get, the better growth you get, the higher your grant is, and our grant increased substantially. So each of those teachers will get a substantially higher stipend than they did the year before. But I would like approval to distribute those funds.
We have a motion for this. Mr. Lynch makes the motion, do I have a second? Mr. Marshall seconds. Any discussion on this? Hearing none, all those in favor? Motion passes 7-0. Take us to item 6, projects.
As a continuation of our potential gym locker room renovation, I would ask that the board approve the 2024 Orange County Multi-Hazard Mitigation Plan Resolution as presented.
Motion for this. Mr. Reiner makes a motion, do I have a second? Mr. Lynch seconds. Any discussion on this? Hearing none, all those in favor? Motion passes 7-0.
Next item is going to involve a little bit of changes to our auditorium audio-visual components. Dr. Kirby, I hate to impose on you, could you just briefly explain the difference there?
Are you talking about on the projector system?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that. So when the Doo-Wop Shop Corporation actually installed these things, the sound system, it's all good, and they put that in, but they ran into some problems getting the controls the way we want them so that we could get the controls on the stage as well as up in the booth for both putting the screen up and down, as well as turning the projector on and off, selecting locations. They ended up, when they went back to the company, they said for that full controls system, you have to go up another level in their control box. Atlona is the company on that, which is another expense. So that was really the increase in the expense, was that additional equipment that they had to buy that is just a higher level to get full control. And I'm sorry, we did not expect that.
That's fine. Thank you, Dr. Kirby. So based on that, it's recommended that the board approve an additional payment of $2,416.47 to the Doo-Wop Shop for the AV upgrade.
The motion for this, Mr. Marshall makes the motion, do I have a second? Mr. Burkeiser seconds. Any discussion on this? Hearing none, all those in favor? Motion passes 7-0.
And I'll mention also that we do have the sound dampening panels in.
Yeah, the panels are actually back behind the stage. They were planning on coming tomorrow, and they could possibly, but it's a little weather dependent. They may get delayed a few days or a week.
So we have, I think, 40 panels.
I think 36 maybe,
36
that they'll
panels
split up
be
along the
installed
walls.
for sound control. Okay.
Take this to item 8, new business.
I have a few things for consent agenda approval. It's recommended that the board approve early dismissal on Wednesdays for the 2025-26 school year. I would also request that the board approve a change of location for our March board meeting due to the fine arts conflict with the Fine Arts Fair in March. We will be moving that location for the March meeting to the high school library. I would also recommend that the board approve school's continued support of what's formerly known as PACT for the 2025-26 school year in the amount of $30,000, and that will be paid for, partially with Title IV funds and partially with casino revenue funds. And then finally, I would recommend that the board approve a field trip for Darren Kearns and 4 students to the BBA competition in Indianapolis, March 9th through 11th.
Make a motion for this. Mr. Lynch makes the motion, do I have a second? Second by Mr. Marshall. Any discussion on this? Hearing none, all those in favor? Motion passes. Oh, sorry, abstain. No, abstain. Mr. Whiting abstains. Motion passes 6-0-1. Mr. Whiting abstaining. Sorry about that.
Okay, moving on, I would recommend that the board approve the following donations. We have a donation from Orange County Beverage of $250 to SAD. From Boston International, $250 for our preschool. AHF Industries, Pluto, $150 for the high school choir. Benevity, Intuit, and Todd Marshall, $533.60 for cross country, high school track, and football. Red Quarry Christian Church, $100 for FCA, and an employee deduction donation of $29.16 for the preschool, and another employee deduction donation of $19.44 for the preschool.
Recommendation to accept these, or motion to accept these, sorry. Mr. Whiting makes the motion, do I have a second? Mr. Lynch seconds, any discussion on these? Hearing none, all those in favor? Motion passes 7-0.
Next item, just want to report to the board that the preliminary February 2025 ADN count was 794.
974.
What's that?
974. Or, excuse me. I'm sorry. No, you are right.
Okay,
794.
That would be good.
Yes, it would
974,
be.
we would like your
I'm
number.
sorry. My brain flipped.
So, yeah, this was a decrease of 8 students from our September enrollment. And that's all I have for new business.
Take us to item 9, other business, which comes before the board. Nothing. Move to item 10 is policy.
I have 2 policies for first reading. That's policy 3220.02, supplemental payments for teachers, and policy 7455, accounting system for capital assets.